our brand ladder, again, you guys all have these probably for your own brands, but, taking a look at the technical benefits in our industry, when we're looking at technical benefits, it's really about the table stakes. I mean, what do you have to do in order to get a food consumer to come into your buildings? You've got to have speed. I mean, they don't call it fast food for nothing. They really want it fast. You've got to have a clean facility. People don't want to talk about or think about food in a facility that doesn't work. And you've got to be accurate. You think about someone coming through the drive-thru, they've got 2 kids, strapped in their chairs in the back, and they order some food. When they get home with their children after a long day's work, they need to have what their child ordered and what they ordered and go ahead and have a nice evening. So these are just basics that you've got to have. And then the functional benefits about the taste, the quality, experience, obviously you've got to have those. But at the end of the day, and you guys all know this because you're all marketers, except for Jose from our Treasury Department. Anyway, you've got to have something that connects with the consumer emotionally. That's the only time you're going to get forgiveness for your mistakes. It's the only time that you're really going to create that loyalty bond and drive the extra visits. And there are a lot of brands that do that extraordinarily well. Arby's has every intention of becoming one of those because we've got a lot of loyal customers now, but we think we've got a lot of opportunity in this space as well. This is just another way that we've looked at the business. When I first got to Arby's, our transactions were in a decline. Again, I think a lot due to the economy, but they were in a decline, and we really had to stop that decline before we could do anything else. So we went after the affordability issue and everyday value, and that really did stem the decline. And we were very fortunate that almost simultaneously to stemming the decline in transactions, we did have comp sales growth began. So we have had the 5 quarters of comp sales growth, which is wonderful, and we're very happy about it. But what we really need, again, there's the word transform, we need to get a new growth trajectory. I mean, in order to take this brand where I believe it really can go, we need to transform that curve, and that's what that top line is about. Okay, now I'm going to try to sell you some products so that you guys will help me with these numbers. We do have a 3-tier value strategy, the whole what you get for what you pay. We've got our entry core products, our entry products, which are the things that obviously lower price, drive traffic, etc. We've got our core products that you probably all know about, the beef and cheddar and the regular roast beef, and then our premium products. And one of those that we've introduced is the Angus. But let me try to sell you a little bit harder. Okay, now I told these people from Arby's to go, ooh, ah, when they saw these products, because doesn't that look good? Okay, see, others are doing this for you guys. The thing is, this is a great little sandwich, I will tell you. That's a little spicy cheese on there, just a little roast beef, and a great value. This is our beef and cheddar. The thing I'd point out there are the curly fries, one of our crave items, and one of the things that we're known for. And then Market Fresh. And here's my comment about Market Fresh. The brand back in 2001 introduced Market Fresh, and it truly was a product introduction that added new visits to the brand that stuck. You know how you can do promotions with a brand and do all sorts of different things where you kind of goose traffic for a while and then it goes away? Market Fresh was a very successful product introduction back in its day. And it's the products are great and they're tasty and they're very different from the other things that we serve. But we are getting ready to do a Market Fresh 2.0 because we think it could probably use taking up a notch. There are a lot of new wonderful breads out there, a lot of new wonderful proteins and sauces that we can use. But anyway, and then the other thing you'll see down here is our endorsement by the Whole Grain Commission or whatever that is. I mean, people want to know, whatever these people are who endorse you. Maybe it's not a commission. I see someone laughing on that. But anyway, we do like to make sure that our consumers know that our products are, for real and endorsed by these various groups. So you'll see another one in a minute. Okay, this is another one. Now, Grub Grade. I know that's not a commission. I think it's a blog. But anyway, Grub Grade voted us the #1 fish sandwich. And so, for all of you who enjoy fish at Lent, we have, according to Grub Grade, the best fish sandwich in the Milky Way galaxy. So please enjoy them. 2 for $4. That's quite a deal. This is also a traffic driver with the price point too. And this is the Ultimate Angus Philly. Again, we've introduced 2 Angus products that have really, really done well for us. One is the 3 cheese and bacon, and this one is the Angus Philly. And I will tell you something about the Arby's consumer. If all else fails, go back to cheese and bacon, okay? That's just, we want to do a lot of things, and probably a lot of you in here are, watching your figures and your health and all this kind of thing, but with the Arby's consumer, they love their cheese and bacon. So we like to deliver it to them many ways. But the Angus is kind of a good marketing story. We were certainly not first to introduce Angus to the consumer. And I know from a traditional marketing standpoint, being first matters. But in this case, I think being last really helped us, and here's why. By the time we introduced Angus at Arby's, McDonald's had Angus, Subway had Angus, all these places, Quiznos, everybody had Angus. But they had, for the most part, they had kind of chunked and formed Angus, the McDonald's at least was. But the thing that it did for us is it let the consumer know that it's okay to have 2 different grades of meat in your restaurant or 2 different kinds of meat in your restaurant. And I'm not sure, had they not done that, we would have had the nerve to come out with Angus, because we love our core roast beef, our classic that we've had for years, but the Angus is a different type of protein. So once the consumer, kind of proved to everybody that it was okay to have 2 different kinds, then we were able to come back and introduce Angus there. And we've had just wild success with it. And it did for us sort of what the Market Fresh did. It has allowed us to attract some new customers who I think had not been to Arby's in a long time, and maybe because they didn't like the core roast beef, or they just hadn't thought about it, and the Angus got their attention. So I invite you to try this. Okay, and here are our signature sides. The other thing about Arby's, when you talk to a consumer, they're going to mention the Jamocha Shake, they're going to mention the curly fries, and they're probably going to mention the horsey sauce. Okay. And the other thing, if they're smart, that they would mention would be the chocolate turnover, which is new. We introduced that as a limited time only, and we couldn't take it off the menu. And so we finally just have given up, and we've put it on there permanently. And then our onion rings are these steakhouse onion rings. They're fabulous. They're good. Okay, I've already given BBDO a little nod, and they are here supporting us. I will tell you, you can see that. Do you guys remember the Betty White Snickers ad? Yeah, that got our attention. We thought that was brilliant. And then we love the FedEx stuff. And they are the ones who came up with the consumer interpretation, it's good mood food. And the thing about this, well, let me just kind of go on. The thing about good mood food is that what happened to us, Arby's was kind of off the radar, and that was one of our issues. Not only did we not have clarity in who we were, but we really were off the radar. So Good Mood Food, when the advertising came out, the first ad, it had this song. Raise your hand if you've heard the song. Okay, good. Okay, that makes me feel good. Okay, number 2, though, here's the beauty of it. It was very polarizing. You basically either loved that song or hated it. Very few people seemed to get that it was a parody and that we were kind of laughing at ourselves, but that's okay. But the polarization made people talk about it. And frankly, Arby's had not been talked about in a long time, and I truly believe that was part of what, got our sales going. And plus, I think that at that point, the country was kind of tired of being in a bad mood. People had had to cut back for so long. So there was just, we kind of liked the idea of let's be light with ourselves. So anyway, I thought as marketers, you'd like to hear kind of the backstory of why we think it really ended up driving sales, because it was, it was polarizing, and people talked about it and blogged about it. And, we, just like everybody else, do use a 360-degree approach. Here's the other thing about that ad campaign. The Good Mood Food slogan, tagline, whatever you want to call it, got to 49% recognition in 7 months, which we thought was pretty spectacular, because we'd had other taglines, frankly, way too many over the years, that I don't know if they ever got to 49%. So we were excited about that. We changed all of our packaging, all of our POP, and the packaging, you can't really see it here, but we have some really cute little sayings on our packaging that really just kind of are tongue-in-cheek and kind of keep you in a good mood at the end of your fries or whatever. Digital social, just like everybody else, we kind of got our act together in that, and I told you about our numbers